Hello, Duranis here, and welcome back to a whole new mod source. So, as I mentioned in the description on the last video, there's been a bit of a change around. Me and a couple of the other guys who are making YouTube content have decided to set up our own server here. So we've got our own server running, and it just makes life a little bit easier. We've got a bit more control over it, and yeah, it's really, really good. So I've spent quite a bit of time, a couple of weeks, just really getting back to the same stage as where I was before because I'd literally just started over again, and you really do want to see me going through the whole process again. So let's have a look and see what we've got. So yeah, this is our new building, and it's still very much a work in progress. I've got sort of the bare bones down, but there's a lot more to go on. There's going to be a whole nother layer that goes up around here. So that's just not finished at all at the moment. There's going to be a lot more detailing that goes on, a bit of terraforming going on around this part and around here. This is the platform I've set up. I'm going to actually set up a portal on here. So this is where people will come in when they visit me. And then we'll come on down here. And just down there, that little house, that's just my where I started out. That was a pre-generated structure. So I just started up in there, and there's a couple of rooms down there, which I'll show you in a bit. There's not much there now because it's all been moved over to here. So let's jump back down here. So yeah, the build I'm going for, I'm trying to go for sort of a futuristic lab kind of style. I'm using these laboratory blocks from Chisel, which are really, really nice. And we've got these carpenter's garage doors. And you can see I've got pressure plates here for the moment, which aren't wired in, but these will work with redstone as well. So you can see here as we walk over that will close it again. And I was actually going to use the player detectors because I'm sure one of the mods had a block that basically if you go within a set range, it will send a redstone signal, but I can't find it for the life of me, so I'm thinking it might not be in this pack. So this is the reception area, and as you can see, not finished. So there's going to be like a dome over here, and it's going to look quite fancy, and then there's going to be nothing really functional in here. It's just going to be purely for aesthetics. So there's going to be like a reception area, so some seating and a nice desk here, and maybe a few interesting bits and bobs here and there. And the lighting again, just temporary. So I just chucked a bunch of cut down glowstone strips, and we have the back here. So again, we can go in and out. And that's going to have a pathway and like a garden area out there, and then there's going to be another building over that way in a little while. Over here we have our big reactor. So using the same program as what I was using before to control it, which works brilliantly. And I've actually got the really cold stuff in there. So that's that in there. And I've set this up. It's producing pretty much dead on 10k RF per tick at full power, which isn't the most power you could get out of something this size, but I've set it up like this so it's really easy to expand. So if I need more power, I can just add more fuel rods and just set them in a sort of checkerboard pattern. And I can also build it upwards as well, which I'm kind of planning to do at one point. I might build it up so it goes into the second floor. Also using these capacitor banks, not for any particular reason other than they look cool, to be honest. So I plan to have a really big capacitor bank at some point, just for looks more than anything else. And there's going to be like computerized looking things over here as well. And again, I plan to decorate it with quite a lot of aesthetic stuff that doesn't really have a lot of function, but just looks quite cool. So it's going to be like a sort of lab workshop type area. I'm using the dark glass from Extra Utilities here, just again because it looks cool. I like the effect that it has. It sort of blocks the light, and it just really makes it look like dark glass. So it's rather than just being coloured, it actually looks like it's blocking some of the light, and it's sort of darkened glass. So that's pretty awesome. And over here we've got an elevator, and we'll jump up. And this is kind of where my workshop is at the moment. So I've got temporary storage over here, and I'm just using barrels, and I'm actually using the Ender IO conduits at the moment. And they're unfiltered because they're barrels, so it's just really chucks them in the first space that it can find. And if it won't go into any of these barrels, it will go over to here to this chest, and then I've got the mod sorting pipes from Extra Utilities again, which is just chucking them into these chests here. So yeah, not very high tech, but it does the job for the moment. I really want to dump this out soon though, because these barrels are really, really bad for FPS. Over here, and I probably should be walking because flying around in this crappy FPS is not overly great, but I have the workshop over here. So this is basically all of the basic machines that you get from most of the major mods. So we've got Ender.io over here, Mechanism here, Thermal Expansion over here. So most of these machines I don't really need, but I've got all of them there just in case at one time I do need them. So we've got the alloy smelter and sag mill set up here, and then just single ones. We've got a painting machine, which is actually really, really cool. All of these blocks here are actually just stone slabs, but they're painted to look like burnt quartz. So you can get some expensive blocks like diamond blocks, for example, which Vorgal has, and it's just painted slabs. So it's really, really good. I am kind of worried that that might be contributing to the rubbish FPS in this area as well, but I'm pretty sure it's a barrel, so I'll look at that once the barrels are gone. The other cool thing about this is that it's all connected up with Steve's Factory Manager. So what I've got here is basically I can output from these machines. All the outputs get pulled into a chest, and then I can either put that into the local storage, which is this chest here, or I can output it to my main storage, which is that end of chest, which gets sucked in over there. So how it works is basically all the machines have Ender.io conduit pulling out the items, and it all goes into this adjustable chest. And then over here we've got a whole bunch of the Steve's Factory stuff. So starting off with the redstone receiver, that picks up the signal from the toggle switch that's on the front. And then we've got an inventory manager, which is obviously the control, and we've got a bunch of cables here that connect up to this inventory and the tube chests at the front, so the ender chest and the other chest there. And we've got redstone emitters just to control the lights. So I'll show you quickly the program for it. I won't get into too much detail, but if anyone's really interested in this, I can actually set up a tutorial video maybe. So basically the way it works, I've got multiple triggers set up, and the reason I've got this is because the flow control, I need to read up on this because I don't think it works the way I think it works. Because I thought basically if you set this up, you can set it so that you can have one input and say 5 outputs. So I could have one input from the while high signal going into there, and then all of these while high signals I could have running off here. But that doesn't seem to work, and I don't know if it's a bug or whether it's something I'm doing wrong or whether it just doesn't work that way and it does something else. But basically what I had to do is set up triggers for each set of things that I want to do. So over here we have while high, so while there's a redstone signal on, it will get the items from this adjustable chest here, and then it will send the items either to, well, while it's high it will send it to storage, so it will send it to the ender chest. So you can see it's targeted the ender chest. And while there's low signal, so while there's no redstone signal there, it will get the items and it will send it to the local chest that's at the front there. This bit here and this bit here basically controls the signal lights. So as you'll see as I switch over here, so at the moment it's output into storage, so it's sent into the ender chest and that light's on. And if I toggle this, it'll toggle that light on, toggle that one off, and it says output to local chest. So this is the sign updater, which is actually really, really cool. And you can see here, it's just the same. It's got a trigger, it's got the sign storage. So you pick the sign updater, and then you basically put in what text you want to show when that condition is met. So that's really, really cool, and you could do some pretty cool things with that. I don't know if it works with any of the signs in this mod pack. I don't actually know what other signs there are in this mod pack, so that's something to try out as well, because these ones don't look overly pretty. So yeah, let's quickly just do a quick test on this. What can we do? Let's grab some cobble. Sand, that'll do actually. So if I set this, that's set to local, and come on, jump down, thank you, and we'll go over here and chuck it into here, and that's going to make the glass, and you can see it's getting pulled out of there, and it's then getting put into here. So let's pull that out and switch that back to the storage chest, and we should see it flash in and then get pulled out again. So it's pretty cool. So if I need something, if I'm making something for myself and I'm sort of in the middle of a crafting recipe, I can set it up to do here and just pull it out of this chest. But if I am making a whole bulk load of stuff, so for example, these silicon balls, don't actually need them. I can just chuck sand in there and set it to output to the storage instead. So it's quite a cool system. Over here, I've got the 3 times ore processing, which I had before, and I've basically just changed the layout of it so it's sitting flat against this wall. I'm going to tidy this up a bit as well, probably hide a lot of this cabling and just have the machine showing, or maybe hide the whole process, maybe in a wall and put something else there instead. But exactly the same as what we set up before. Only difference is I'm not actually using Steve's Factory Manager to pull the items out. So round the back here, we have Ender IO conduits again, and we've actually got them pulling the end items out. So when we go, let's go back here, it's pulling the items out of the pulverizer and out of the Elite Factory at the top there. So the items just get pulled straight out of there and put into the storage chest. So that saves having to mess around setting up a whole bunch of stuff in here, and it simplifies the whole process, because basically all of this doing is filtering out the ores and putting them in the right machines to be processed, and then it goes from the machines straight into storage. So it just makes life a little bit simpler, and I just set that up just to test the system. So yeah, it's really, really nice area that we're living in here. There's lots of nice hills, and I plan to have quite a few little buildings around. Maybe not all of them will be functional. There might be some that are just for sort of looks. I definitely want to have one area set up for mob farms, and I also want another area set up for magic. So that will be witchery and blood magic. This is all going to be removed and tidied up as well, so it will look a lot nicer in here. And again, sort of going for a laboratory type effect, so there's going to be lots of sort of workstations and things like that going on here. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the tour at the moment. I think the next thing I really need to do is actually get a portal set up so that I can get to other people's bases quicker and they can get here, because everyone else has got portals set up, and I've sort of been holding off until I was recording videos because I wanted to do it all on video. So I'm going to get that set up and then I'll be right back. So welcome back, and I think this is going to work. If I remember correctly, these portals can be pretty much any shape or any size. So we'll see how this goes. So basically what you need is your portal frames, and then you need a dining device, or there's a network interface where you can actually just link 2 portals together so you don't have the dining device, but that's a lot better way of doing it. You need a portal controller, and I've also got these redstone interfaces which are completely optional, but they give you a bit more control over it. And underneath here I'm going to set up my what are these called? Dimensional bridge stabilizers. So basically you need a 2x3x2 like that. And then if I whack this with a wrench, it should then form a multi-block structure. And if we click on this, put one of them cards in there, it should say location set. And then we have to come up and click on one of these blocks of it. I'm not sure. I think it's the portal controller. Yeah, excellent. So in theory, that should now be ready to roll. And I've got to set up an identifier. Here we go. So let's set that to a XP bottle, never start XP bottle. Excellent. And we'll set that to public. And I think that's it. And then if we try and dial out, so let's go to I think 4 ghouls is a never start and 3 cakes. So let's try that. So save. Excellent. So let's terminate that for a second, because the next thing I want to do is set these up. So we want output portal created. Yeah, so what we want to do is entity touches portal, player touches portal. I think maybe set that to player touches portal and then input remove portal on signal. So in theory what this will do is when I walk through it, it will turn the portal off. So let's just connect these up underneath here. And let's just dial again. And then as we walk through, give it a few seconds to load. Excellent. So yeah, we're over at Forgal Space now, and there he is over there messing with his ME system. So yeah, my internet's not incredibly great at the moment. My upspeed is basically less than 1 meg, so it's a pretty poor connection at the moment, so I'm having a few issues with lag, but we'll hopefully just get through the end of this. I just really want to quickly show the outside of the building just before we call it a day here. Like I said, the idea I'm going for is sort of a modern, futuristic, industrial style, so I'm not too sure on the windows. I may change this out, and I may add a bit more to this building, so maybe like some overhanging bits over here or something like that. But I really wanted to just get going now because I've spent a long time just getting back to where I was before, and sort of really wanted to get recording again. So I really quite like this. The factory blocks, they sort of look like pipe work, and then going into these grated areas. Forgal actually put that beacon in there, which looks really cool, but I'm actually going to move that somewhere else because I had a plan to put some beacons in somewhere here, which will come later. A lot of this stuff on the top is probably going to be moved. Why the hell is there a creeper in my base? A lot of this stuff's going to be moved on the top because I'm going to have a couple more levels on this building, but like I said, I really wanted to get something going for now. I'm going to have a lot of little like doodad bits like these solar panels on the top, and I was looking for something that sort of looked like satellite dishes, but I've not really come across anything good yet, so I might just use micro blocks or something to do that. As you can see here, we've got a little overhang. There's going to be a pathway coming out here, and another building connected up over here, and then just a little like garden bit with a nice terrace sitting over here, so you've got a nice view over the valley. And I'm going to do some terraforming in the valley later on as well, so that'd be quite cool. There's going to be buildings over here, and then bridges going across to that part over there, and maybe some more buildings over there. So I plan to do quite a lot of building, which I know takes quite a long time, and I don't want to do what I've done before and sort of build massive builds, and then it just takes forever to get them finished off. So I'd like to get this a bit more finished off first, and what I'm trying to do is sort of get it so it's looking finished but leaves room for expansion. So it will look cool, but if I want to build more onto it, I can quickly do it, which is kind of what I've done here. This part here, it's quite flat, but I'm going to put more details on, and then once I want to expand it, I can just take this bit off and then expand it upwards. So it gives me a bit more space to sort of expand a bit and make things look cool as well. I quite like this effect as well. It's got the mechanism windmills in there. It just looks like sort of a fan system. I might take some of these grid bits out just so you can see the middle bits moving around. But yeah, I quite like the way it looks. It's not actually connected up to anything, but I can maybe hook it into my power system. This is all going to be tidied up at some point. It's going to be a fancier entranceway, but I really wanted people to sort of come in and look at the building from a slight distance, just so you can actually see it, rather than having the portal inside, because then people will come in and they only ever see the inside, they'll never see the outside. So I thought that'd be quite cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it's a bit of a catch-up episode, and next time, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do next time. I really want to get ME storage going, just so we get rid of them barrels and really get that finished off properly in the workshop area. So maybe, even if I don't get the ME system set up, I'll at least get the things needed to create the materials that I want for that. So we might do that next time. I'm going to try and start on the sort of aesthetic part of the reception over there, and I might finish, well, I say finish, but do a bit more building on the top here, just so I've got a roof there and it looks sort of halfway completed. But I do have some ideas on how I want that to look, so that's quite a lot of build that's got to go into there. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed. See you later. Take care. Bye bye.